Lately Aunt Ingrid has been annoyed because she suspects that her son is crooked. I cried in front of my mom and me for 3 days and 3 nights. Aunt Ingrid looked at me pitifully. K. Anderson, you help Auntie. I silently stepped back. I can't. Ingrid took out a card from his pocket. K. Anderson, I beg you. The 500,000 yuan in this card was originally a bride price for that stinky boy. Now don't care about him. Let him earn it himself. Ingrid depends on you. I opened my pockets wide. I don't want it. I don't want it. Ingrid stubbornly insisted on shoving the card into my pocket. I had no choice but to accept the money. Don't worry, Aunt Ingrid. I promise to complete the task. Herbert Benson has been moving out since he graduated and is starting a business with others. I went to him with 2 sets of change of clothes. I didn't have to bring any other luggage, because Herbert Benson would definitely buy me a new one. I decided to use the observation method first, so as not to startle the snakes. I sent Herbert Benson a WeChat message. Evening breeze in 02, old fox. Where are you now? I want to embrace the wind. Company party. Evening breeze in 02, send me the address. On the other side, I typed and deleted in the chat box for half a day. I want to embrace the wind. You want to come? I want to embrace the wind. No, you are not in Jiang City. Evening breeze in 02, send location. I want to embrace the wind. What's wrong? Evening breeze in 02, it's okay. Just ask. I immediately took a taxi to where he was at the moment. It's over. I forgot to ask what box it is. Forget it. Don't panic in case of trouble. Go to the toilet to calm down. From afar, I saw Herbert Benson smoking a cigarette in solitude at the door of the men's restroom. When did he start smoking? There were many men and women around hugging each other, and none of them had a safe place in their hands. A girl walked up to him. Herbert Benson, can you take me home? I'm a little drunk. The girl became a little unsteady and fell to Herbert Benson's side. Herbert Benson moved to the side. Inconvenient. I'll go. This sister looks good. Herbert Benson is a. Herbert Benson, I'm afraid to go home alone. Ask your family and friends to pick you up. Herbert Benson leaned against the wall, puffing out smoke rings. Unlike what I usually saw him. I don't know if it's because of the wine. He is a little goo, and there is a trace of sadness in his eyes. He's not happy. After a while, a handsome guy came out of the men's bathroom, and he put his arm around Herbert Benson's shoulder. Let's go, Herbert Benson. It's over. The old fox ignores the beautiful sister, but hooks up with the man. You go back first, and I'll stand for a while. The handsome guy looked at Herbert Benson and the girl with an expression that I understood. Okay. Herbert Benson grabbed him. Take her with you. After saying that, he picked up his mobile phone and dialed a voice call. The next second, my phone rang. The god of wealth is coming_the god of wealth is coming the god of wealth is coming to my house in the relatively quiet toilet. My bell is particularly prominent. Their eyes brushed over to me. Herbert Benson's eyes lit up instantly. K. Anderson. Herbert Benson rubbed my head. Why are you here? No. I have to find an excuse to get out as soon as possible and hide in the shadows. I made an appointment with my online dating partner to run in Jiangxi, so I stopped by to see you. Herbert Benson's eyes narrowed dangerously. Online dating. Object. By the way, I nodded. Yes, I still have to go beforehand. Herbert Benson grabbed me by the collar and his eyes flashed. Don't go. Why? At night, you are a girl's house. Go to find a man. You still don't know each other. You are not allowed to go. I'm not convinced. I'm going to get out. I'm an adult. You don't care about me. K. Anderson, your parents are gone. I'm the biggest. And no matter how big you are, I'm your brother. Herbert Benson carried me on his shoulders and took me back to where he was staying. Well, I opened the hotel, and the things are still in the hotel. I'll help you get it later, and I'll reimburse you from the hotel. When I got home, Herbert Benson left me on the couch and went on to do other things. He went in and out with a quilt pillow, from here to there, from that to this. I felt that he was not in the right mood. He looked fierce and annoying. After a while, he came out of the room. You sleep in my room. The sheets and quilts are all new, and I will go to sleep in the study. There's another room next door that belongs to my partner, the man you just saw, named Kerwin Sharp. With that, he went to the balcony and closed the door. He's smoking again. I secretly took a picture and went to Ingrid to sue him when the time came. The good ones don't learn. The bad ones don't learn. I went to the room to take a look. As always, the cold decoration. White and gray are the main colors. I opened the closet, and it was full of suits and shirts. It turns out that he has grown up so much unconsciously, and now he has the breath of a mature man. And he is no longer as young as I remember. He's been busy since his senior year, and when he comes home when he has free time, I happen to hang out with friends. We haven't seen each other in almost 2 years. Hey! There is a bulge on the bottom level of the wardrobe. I lifted the mat and saw that it was a photo album with a transparent protective bag on the outside. The cover of the album has a handwritten K. Is this an abbreviation of someone's name? I didn't open the album to see it. It's Herbert Benson's privacy after all. The album is well protected, and judging by the level of this treasure, it must not be a photo of Herbert Benson's sweetheart, or a photo of the two of them. Wrong. What is the name of his partner's roommate? Kerwin Sharp. Aunt Ingrid. It's over. It's dangerous. I hate why I'm so smart. If I hadn't been so Sherlock Holmes, or if I had been stupid, I wouldn't have been so embarrassed at this moment. How do I face Ingrid and Herbert Benson? Ingrid or Herbert Benson? K. Anderson steady. Don't worry. It's just a suspicion now. It's not a real hammer yet. There is still a chance. An album doesn't mean much. I poured a glass of water and took it to the balcony. Herbert Benson puffed out his cigarette as soon as he saw me. What's wrong? I imitated the example of others borrowing wine to kill their sorrows, and took a sip of water. Old fox, you have something on your mind. Herbert Benson looked at me meaninglessly. You know. I patted him on the shoulder. Well, of course I know that loving someone is uncontrollable. Herbert Benson's eyes lit up, and he stopped talking. I hugged him. It's okay. Herbert Benson froze. He had just reached out to hug me when the balcony door suddenly opened, and Kerwin Sharp returned. I immediately let go of Herbert Benson. You talk. I'm going to talk to my baby too. As soon as I got back to my room, I clicked on my girlfriend's chat box. The other party is speaking. I'm going to break. I found a big secret tonight. My best friend replied to me in seconds. It's a cute pig. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. It's a cute pig, you say. The other party is speaking. I can't tell you yet. They haven't made it public. It's the cute pig. Then why did you tell me so early? The other person is speaking. What do you say if a person suddenly smokes? It's a cute pig, either for love, or for money. Herbert Benson's family is not short of money, and he is really trapped by love. Herbert Benson, I'm convinced. The next day, as soon as I opened the door, I smelled a good smell. This smell must be the old fox in the kitchen. He is a very good cook. Since I was in the 3rd grade of primary school, I don't like to eat at my own house. I always go to Herbert Benson's house. He cooks. I looked at the table. So light. Herbert Benson said, make it to your taste. I don't like to eat any of these now. Herbert Benson scooped his hand into the porridge. That's right. You're 18 years old now. You have your own baby. And you're no longer following me crying and shouting to marry my K. Anderson. What is he talking about? Why is he so sad for no reason? I'll make you a new one. No, it's a hassle. Herbert Benson stubbornly insisted on doing it all over again. I pointed to the table. What about these? Give it to the dog. Herbert Benson yelled. Kerwin Sharp, come out for breakfast. Kerwin Sharp slowly came out of the room, and his eyes lit up when he saw a large table of things. Herbert Benson, get up early in the morning and make breakfast. You're getting more virtuous now. Well, I caught the key word. Virtuous. Herbert Benson is the one below. No, I can accept the freedom of love, but I can't accept him below. I looked at Kerwin Sharp. Dude, do you have a good relationship with the old fox? Kerwin Sharp replied. Of course, the kind that can wear the same pair of pants. They wear the same pants in private. I glanced meaninglessly at Herbert Benson, who was busy in the kitchen, and I couldn't bear to look at him. The sky is falling. When Herbert Benson came out with freshly made dumplings and pancakes, I pressed him to his chair in distress. Herbert Benson looked confused. You've worked hard. Don't be busy. You eat more to replenish your body. I sandwiched a fried egg for him. The corners of Herbert Benson's mouth curled imperceptibly. Thank you, K. Anderson. My gaze unconsciously turned to Herbert Benson, then to Kerwin Sharp, and then back to Herbert Benson. Kerwin Sharp asked, Herbert Benson, you took a special vacation to take your sister out to play? Oh yes, I'm on a business trip in the afternoon, and won't be back in the evening. Herbert Benson replied lightly. Is there enough money? Not enough to ask for me. My eyes lit up again. This is too much for me, who has eaten countless CPs, and it's really not that I'm sensitive. Kerwin Sharp, you're so nice. You'll be my family in the future. Herbert Benson ravaged my hair. Don't mess with me. Okay, I understand. Herbert Benson and I decided to go hiking. Why do I choose to climb mountains? Because climbing mountains refers to climbing over peaks, and peaks can also be said to be difficult and challenging. The path he followed with Kerwin Sharp was not accepted by the world, and it was not easy to walk, but I just want to tell him that I will stand firmly on his side, and accompany him through everything to the top. I'm just that good, so great. This value is stunned for me to understand. When I came to the torii at the foot of the mountain, I was in high spirits. A small peak, just 800 meters above sea level. Herbert Benson smiled and didn't speak. Half an hour later, I was out of breath and eager to fall asleep. I looked at Herbert Benson, and he didn't seem to be tired. He shouldn't be. A smile tugged at Herbert Benson's lips. Do I want to help you? He's laughing at sister. Whoever wants you to help, I'll go by myself. Okay. Herbert Benson silently followed me and watched me, afraid that I would fall. Half an hour later, we came to a large flat field. No, let me rest for a while. I just lay down. As soon as I lay down, I caught the attention of the people around me. Some children made fun of me. Mom, look at that sister, sleeping everywhere. It's a shame. Just lie down and lie down, the child's mother said. Our Lucas are better than my sister, aren't we? Lucas can keep walking. We can climb to the top of the mountain. Refuse to pull on it. The child was instantly filled with chicken blood. Yes, I'm not useless. At least I'm motivating the kids. Before leaving, the child stuffed me with a pack of tissues. Sister, there is chewing gum on the ground, sticking to your hair. I shuddered. As a result, I didn't see chewing gum for a long time. Stinky kids, playing me. I continued to lie down and lay down for a while, moved to the side. Immediately afterwards, Herbert Benson also lay down. Herbert Benson took out his phone, and took a picture of us lying together. I suddenly remembered the album. Do you have an album? A hint of panic flashed in Herbert Benson's eyes. Have you seen it? No, I don't like to look at other people's privacy. Old fox, are you honest? Is that album for you to put photos of the people you like? Herbert Benson's eyes flickered. Well, this is a real hammer. I personally admit it. I got up. Let's go. Keep climbing. Herbert Benson looked at me worriedly. Don't forget it, there's still more than half the way. I'm really afraid of your physical strength. No, go on. I will accompany you on this road. Half an hour later, I was holding a tree, and I couldn't do it. I can't wait to drink milk tea in bed with the air conditioner on at the moment. Herbert Benson smiled and squatted down in front of me. It's almost to the top of the mountain. I'll carry you up. The road down the mountain is very easy. I'm so embarrassed. I slipped onto Herbert Benson's back. Half an hour later, we reached the top of the mountain. If you say that you will accompany him to the top, you will definitely accompany him to the top. The scenery on the mountain is so beautiful and the view is so broad. After resting, we went down the mountain. The way down the mountain is indeed much easier and not strenuous. After climbing the mountain, I parted ways with Herbert Benson, because I just thought of a good idea in the mountains to take Herbert Benson's words. It just so happens that Kerwin Sharp isn't there. I'm going to get ready first. In the evening, I came home with 2 bottles of high liquor. K. Anderson is back, just in time for dinner. Yes, eat first. Drinking alcohol on an empty stomach can easily cause stomach congestion and gastric perforation. I sneaky out of the liquor and brought it to the room. During the meal, I reminded Herbert Benson, old fox, don't eat so much. There will be another one later. Herbert Benson looked at me suspiciously. What? You don't care? As soon as I finished eating, I went back to my room and locked the door. I also bought ambient lighting to make it feel more like drinking. Looking at this decoration, I started to get slightly drunk. Very good, very good. I opened the door and shouted, "Old fox!" Herbert Benson heard the sound and walked over. He had just finished showering. His shirt was still on, and there were still drops of water dripping from his body. My eyes were straight when I could see it. "K. Anderson, what's wrong?" Herbert Benson's nice voice came, and it was a little deep. "Old fox, let's talk about something grown-ups." Herbert Benson was slightly taken aback, then smiled slightly. "Okay, yes." I snapped a few red bills on the table. "Have a drink, it's all yours." Herbert Benson stared straight at me, and I could see a whimsy of darkness rolling up from under his eyes. He drank the liquor I had prepared, which was almost overflowing. Choke. I poured him a full bottle of wine and pulled out a few more red bills. He finished again, a little full. "I don't care so much." After repeating this several times, his eyes gradually blurred. When the opportunity came, I quickly asked, "Do you like men or women?" The next second, he pressed me against the wall and pressed his leg against me. "I like it. Male. Ingrid." The crystal exploded. "It's just that this plot is different from what I imagined." I tried to push him away, but he was holding him by the waist. "Old fox, you're drunk." "I know." "Yes, he knows." He knew a fart, and he was delirious. "It hurts." He tugged so tightly, hearing me cry out in pain. Herbert Benson let go of me. "K. Anderson, why did you pour me wine?" His voice sounded hoarse, and he looked like he was staggering and unsteady. Ask why. Dead brain. Think about it. Pregnant. I broke up with my online dating partner, and I felt uncomfortable, so I wanted to have a drink with you." Herbert Benson's eyes were filled with incomprehensible affection. "Broke up?" "Yes. He's not worthy of me." Herbert Benson's eyebrows moved. "What about me?" "Hey, what are you?" I asked, puzzled. "What do you like about him?" Herbert Benson rested his head on my shoulder, his hair rubbing against my neck socket, soft and fragrant. "My heart is tickling," I replied. "I don't know." "Do you still like him?" I replied. "I don't like it." "Well, he's not worthy of K. Anderson's liking." Herbert Benson moved his head, tickling my neck. I looked down to see what he was doing, but he happened to be looking at me, and as soon as I looked down, I wiped his lips. My face turned red and I hurriedly pushed him away. My little heart was stirring inexplicably. Herbert Benson's eyes welled up with a smile, and a closer look revealed that the roots of his ears were red. "K. Anderson, you're shy." "Fart." "I didn't." "Don't be shy." "Didn't you kiss when you were a child?" "That's different." Herbert Benson pushed me onto the bed. "What's the difference?" "Why is it different?" I thought about it for a moment. "Because we've all grown up. We can't be as ignorant as we used to be." Herbert Benson's eyes instantly turned cold. "What's wrong with you?" There was a hint of hurt in his eyes, and the whole person looked sad. My heart trembled. "Forget it. It's okay. Go to bed early. Good night." Herbert Benson let go of me and pushed the door open. I couldn't sleep after lying in bed for a long time. As soon as you close your eyes, it's Herbert Benson. The image of him holding me down, rubbing my neck, and brushing his mouth automatically came to mind. The more you think about it, the hotter your body gets. So I got up in the middle of the night, and went to the balcony for a long squat. What I don't know is that Herbert Benson wasn't asleep either. He wanted to go down and run a few laps, but as soon as he got out of the room, he saw me on the balcony. He stood for a long time, just one door away. I never noticed. After doing dozens of them, another question came to my mind. How do I tell Ingrid that she's about to have a boyfriend and daughter-in-law? Curran Sharp and the old fox relationship seems to be good at the moment. There's a good chance that Curran Sharp will become a family with Ingrid. For my love affair with the old fox since childhood, I should help him. There's a way. Why don't you give Ingrid a harder one to accept first, and then tell her the truth when she feels like the sky is falling? Wouldn't it be better? I see that elementary school students use this method when reporting their grades to their parents. Thinking of a solution. It is a lot more pleasing to the eyes to look at the stars in the sky. Zing. No, I provoked you. Why do you look at me unpleasantly? I left the balcony until about dawn, and as soon as I opened the balcony door, I smelled a puff of smoke. Herbert Benson smoked again and floated into the living room. I choked on the smell of his cigarette and coughed. Herbert Benson walked out and anxiously poured me a glass of water. "Are you all right?" I walked out to the balcony, and took a few big breaths of fresh air and came to life. "Old fox, Can you stop smoking? I hate the smell of smoke, and I inhale second-hand smoke when I walk on the road from time to time. I don't know if smoking is harmful to their health, but it's really innocent and unfair for me to be forced to smoke second-hand smoke when I don't smoke. Well, don't smoke it, quit from now on. Well, he agreed, and I thought I was going to lobby for a while. Then can I find K. Anderson when I'm upset in the future? I resolutely agreed. Of course, I am the most enlightened, and if you say, I can be on call for 17 hours and leave me for 7 hours to sleep. Herbert Benson's eyes lit up. Well, that's K. Anderson is mine for 17 hours a day. Well, it seems like that's right, yes. Hey, old fox, you're awake. Yes. When Curran Sharp returned, Herbert Benson and I were still sleeping, and we both slept until 1 p.m. I was the last one to get up. Curran Sharp asked curiously, what did you two do last night? It's all so late. He looked at Herbert Benson again. It's the first time I've seen you wake up so late. Don't you have to go for a morning jog every day? Curran Sharp is jealous. He's cliché. I hurriedly explained. I didn't do anything with the old fox. Don't be angry, Curran Sharp. Herbert Benson. Curran Sharp asked. What am I angry about? Herbert Benson also spoke. It doesn't matter to us whether he's angry or not. I'm really convinced. Herbert Benson. A dead straight man. Does he understand it or not? No, he's not straight. This straight man is not another straight man. Look at the degree of garlic they pretend. They are still pretending to be in front of me. I grabbed Herbert Benson's hand and Curran Sharp's hand, and put all three hands together to signal that I was with them. Actually, there are some things you can tell me, because I've already guessed them. Curran Sharp winked at Herbert Benson. You said it all. Herbert Benson's eyes welled up with hope. K. Anderson. You really know? I nodded. Of course. I looked at Herbert Benson and pointed at Curran Sharp. Aren't you with him? What a big deal. Curran Sharp. Herbert Benson. Herbert Benson sighed helplessly. Curran Sharp slapped the table and angrily. You're insane. Who's with him? Am I sick or he's sick? Herbert Benson glared at Curran Sharp in displeasure. Be careful with your words. Curran Sharp gritted his teeth and held back the words that came to his lips. Okay. You just get used to her. Did I guess wrong? Oh, I guessed wrong. Luckily, I had just been in bed for a long time, and I still didn't tell Ingrid about Herbert Benson being with his roommate. I raised my doubts, but, old fox, your album cover is KK by Curran Sharp. The corners of Herbert Benson's mouth twitched, but he didn't speak. Curran Sharp slapped the table again, angry and angry, but he looked at Herbert Benson, and didn't dare to speak. I asked, will the good brotherhood be in charge of each other's finances? It's not just for young couples and couples. Curran Sharp was shocked. Who's in charge of Hom's finances? What are you talking about? Didn't you tell the old fox that he had no money and asked for it? That's because I know that all his money is invested in the company, and he doesn't have much spare money, so I can kindly lend him some money. Oh, I see. I stood up and bowed to Herbert Benson and Curran Sharp. I'm sorry. Curran Sharp took a few steps back in fright. I don't have to do it. I don't blame you. Herbert Benson pulled me up and rubbed my hair. It's good to make it clear. Curran Sharp had a hungry look on his face. That's enough. You two are enough. Herbert Benson's cell phone rings. I had a sense of foreboding. He answered the phone, and a deafening voice came from the phone. Stinky boy, you actually got married to a 70-year-old lady in a flash. Are you asking me to call her mom? Or do she call me mom? You'd better not go home again. I'm afraid I'll beat you to death. Herbert Benson casually glanced at me. I bowed my head weakly. Herbert Benson promised Ingrid for a long time, and Ingrid finally believed that he was single and unmarried. Before hanging up the phone, Ingrid also specially warned, also, single and unmarried, and don't have a baby, right? Nope. Ingrid finally hung up the phone. Flutter. I couldn't hold back my laughter. Herbert Benson glared at me, still laughing, and at the moment my phone rings. It's my mother's phone. When I got on the phone, my mom's voice was deafening. Herbert Benson was really taken care of by a 70s woman. I explained it to my mom under the gaze of the other two. Baby, you usually care about Herbert Benson. His face and body are really easy to be fostered. You have a good relationship. You pay more attention to him. Mom, don't say it. Let's say it's not good to your face. Baby, Mom and Ingrid have also smacked you too, CP. But unfortunately none of you have any of them. I was afraid that my mother would break out something again. So I interrupted her loudly, Mom, I still have something to do. Go get busy first. Hang up. I hung my head silently, not daring to look at the fiery gaze. The family. The hanging head is completely broken. K. Anderson. What I like is a girl. Someone I've liked for a long time. I asked. Then why aren't you together? Can't you catch up with your face? Because she's stupid. Oh, I continued. Does she have someone she likes? I was angry when I said this. I didn't look at it for a while. She was abducted, but fortunately, she woke up later. Oh, that's if the other party had a favorite person before. I proposed. Why don't I be your military advisor, and I'll help you chase after you? The corners of Herbert Benson's lips curled in amusement. You're pretty good. Are you guaranteed to catch up? Definitely. I used to be the military advisor in my whole dormitory, and my achievements can be checked. There are 6 people in a dormitory, except for me, all of whom are single, and each of them has my credit. As for my relationship with him, I am definitely more dedicated. How can I not catch up? My little head is very good. Well, I'm relieved to have K. Anderson's assurance. For the next few days, Herbert Benson and Curran Sharp were busy at the office, leaving me alone at home. Herbert Benson sent me a WeChat message. I want to embrace the wind. What flowers do you send to chase girls? The evening breeze of 02, it's safer to be a classic red rose. The evening breeze of 02, or you talk about the girl's character. I will analyze and analyze. I want to embrace the wind. It looks like a big grin, but it's actually very sensitive, careful, kind, cute, and loves to laugh. The girl he likes is very good for my taste, and I like this too. Evening breeze in 02, if you send roses, choose pink or yellow. I think her personality matches these 2 colors well. Want to embrace the wind, then do you like these 2 colors? Evening breeze in 02, like. I want to embrace the wind, understood. I can't wait at home for Herbert Benson to come back and receive good news from him. At 6 p.m., there was a sound of the door opening. I ran out before I had time to change my slippers. It's really Herbert Benson back. Hey, how did you come back with a bouquet of yellow roses? Send your flowers. Herbert Benson handed me the flowers and pulled out 2 more boxes of chocolates from the bag. I took the flowers and asked, did that girl confiscate your flowers? Herbert Benson said lightly, take it. Oh, and he bought 2 bouquets and didn't forget to give me one too. Hey, happy. How did that girl feel when she received the flowers? It's fun, I'll just say. I'm a professional. After eating, I sat in the living room and watched the drama. Herbert Benson washed the strawberries and cut the pears on the coffee table, and sat down next to me. K. Anderson, what am I going to do next? Let me think about it. Ask her out to play. Do a good job. Take her to eat and drink spicy food, and prepare some surprises. Herbert Benson looked at me steadily. K. Anderson, can I go out the day after tomorrow? I looked like I hated that iron was not made of steel. No, you asked that girl to go. Why did you ask me out? I don't know how to say hello. Curran Sharp, who was passing by behind, tapped Herbert Benson on the shoulder. Well, I don't know how to say it. Come on, boy. No. What's his business? Brother and sister talk. Don't interject idlers. Curran Sharp kept his mouth shut. Okay. Herbert Benson looked at Curran Sharp. When are you going to travel again? I'm going to look for 2 errands, and I'll be out later, and I won't show up for a month. Okay. Thanks. Curran Sharp crackled around the room and packed up, and in a few moments he was out the door with a large bag. Instantly, there were only 2 people left in the room. Herbert Benson and me. At this time, the drama I was chasing on TV had ended, and the next drama was being broadcast. It's just that Herbert Benson and I both don't think it's right, because the 2 of us watched it for 3 minutes. The show has been kissing for 3 minutes, and seeing that they kiss so hard, it seemed like they wanted to suck out each other's brains. I didn't have a face to look at, and Herbert Benson got up and walked away. After a while, he brought 2 glasses of water. K. Anderson, tell me about your dog. No, the man, I asked. Who? Online dating partners. Anyway, there is no such person at all. Don't say it. Herbert Benson hugged my waist, and rubbed my head again. Tell me about it. Don't rub it. It's so much that my heart is going to be messed up. I remember at your grandfather's funeral, you sneaked into the coffin in the middle of the night to sleep with your grandfather, and if I hadn't found you, you would have been almost cremated. And he mentioned it, and every time he threatened me with it. Who made me owe a life-saving grace? What do you want to do with this? I want to know what Kay Anderson likes. I coughed twice in embarrassment. Actually, there is no such person at all. That is what I was trying to make an excuse to talk nonsense. Herbert Benson raised an eyebrow, a sly smile on his face. I knew that the average man wouldn't be able to get into Kay Anderson's eyes. He said this quite well. Herbert Benson stared at me quietly, his eyes flowing with infinite tenderness. Can I get into Kay Anderson's eyes? My eyes were full of question marks. Tell me clearly. What do you mean by that? Herbert Benson helped me pull the shredded hair from my ears, and slid my Adam's apple lightly. Kay Anderson, I like you. The deer in my heart began to ramble again. But he didn't have someone he liked. Herbert Benson seemed to see my doubts, sighed, and replied, the person I like is you. A phrase flashed through my mind, if you like me, I like me, then we are rivals. But I didn't dare to say it. I was afraid that if I did, the old fox would beat me. Herbert Benson stared at me and said bewilderingly, Kay Anderson, will you try it with me? I can now give you a definite future. I never questioned his words. He always did what he said to me. My mind became smart again. You said you liked me for a long time, but you didn't say it because you didn't think you could give me a future. Herbert Benson's deep eyes were tingling. Yes, I want to be able to pursue you when I can give you a firm future, but you're growing up too fast, and I'm afraid I can't keep up with you. So for a while, I was very anxious and contracted the bad habit of smoking, but fortunately, all my efforts were not in vain, and when I completed these projects, the company's popularity could be greatly improved, and the market value could be doubled. Why don't I believe it? You're worried about not having enough money. You're Herbert Benson. I don't take my parents' money. That's what they use to support their old age. When he said that, I remembered that I had taken Ingrid money. Your mother gave me 500,000 yuan to test whether you like men or women. I know the money. She saved it for her daughter-in-law. You can take it. If you say that, I'm a little afraid to take it. Herbert Benson's cold eyes lit up. Kay Anderson, you haven't answered my question yet. Well, I'll give you a chance. I kissed him on the lips, and the last time I accidentally touched him, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't. Then I was pressed and kissed by this dead fox for a long time. Suddenly I regretted it a little. When Herbert Benson let go of me, I kicked him off the couch. Old fox, do you want to tell my mother and your mother about the two of us together? How dare you tell them? Warrior, I don't care anyway. I think he has a point, and if he says it, he will die himself. After a happy week with Herbert Benson received a call from Ingrid. He put his phone on the table and turned on the speakerphone. Son, you can take the time to go home next month and lie down. You are a person with your own ideas on weekdays, so my mother can't rest assured. My mother is really afraid that you will go astray. Our family is bankrupt now, and there are only 3 or 4 million left in total, but it is enough for us to use for a lifetime. It's also to blame me and your dad for giving birth to you so handsome, and mom worries about you being taken care of every day. Ha 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 ha. When I heard the last sentence, I couldn't help but smile and blushed. Herbert Benson glanced at it, and I immediately put away my big teeth. No, I can't help it. Ha 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 ha. The other end of the line was stunned for a moment. Kay Anderson is there too. Oh, Hua was discovered. It's me, Aunt Ingrid. Kay Anderson, you help Auntie get this stinky boy back. Auntie has a reward. It's hard to do this, without saying how much it is. Herbert Benson gave me one look and said, if you say yes, you're done. I'm a natural rebellious person, okay? Aunt Ingrid, promise to get the job done. Stinky boy. My aunt introduced a nice girl. You. Herbert Benson interrupted her. Mom, I'll take care of my business. Don't worry about it. You stinky boy. I don't care, you have to come back anyway. Kay Anderson, you promise Auntie. This kid listens to you, the most on weekdays. That's true. But it's true. It's not going to work. Herbert Benson preempted me and said, Mom, I'll go back. I'll bring my girlfriend back. Don't make any arrangements. Damn, I bit down on Herbert Benson's arm. Obviously, there are many solutions, but he has to choose the public one. After hanging up the phone, Herbert Benson leaned over. I'm tired of being alive, aren't I? HMPH. I kept kicking him. Dead thing. Don't scratch me. Herbert Benson snorted as I did. Damn, dog stuff. Still scratching. I was so angry that I fought him for 300 rounds. In the end, the battle ended with Herbert Benson transferring $52,000 to me. Half a month later, Herbert Benson and I came home with gifts. When I passed by my house, Herbert Benson wouldn't let me go back to my house, but insisted on pulling me to the house next door. I broke free of Herbert Benson's hand, and took the weird shy. I followed Herbert Benson through the door. As soon as we entered, 4 people looked at us, with 8 pairs of eyes. My dad was the first to get up, and he walked up behind me and looked around. Herbert Benson, didn't you say bring your girlfriend back? Herbert Benson turned to look at me. Here, my dad went from he to not he. My mother. Ingrid. Herbert Benson. My dad stood in front of me to block Herbert Benson's view, and looked at Herbert Benson. Herbert Benson, Uncle doesn't have a problem with you. Uncle just thinks. Before my dad could finish his sentence, my mom and Herbert Benson were kidnapped away. What are you doing by letting me go? This stinky boy actually cheated on my daughter. Ingrid affectionately took my hand and smiled kindly. K. Anderson, you guys really surprised us so quietly. The 5th of next month is a good day. My mom came out of nowhere, and she blossomed and bowed to the sky. Aunt Ingrid was babbling. My head hurt, and I blamed Herbert Benson. I stole a glance at him. Herbert Benson pulled Ingrid away. Mom, K. Anderson and I have been in a cold war for the past 2 days, and we are ready to break up. Then Ingrid went from urging us to get engaged to get married to persuading us not to break up. My mom also entered this persuasion camp. Dead fox. What a bad idea. Herbert Benson raised an eyebrow. I really ate leftovers and came up with ideas. Moms, it's my fault. I made K. Anderson angry. I'm going to apologize to K. Anderson right now. Herbert Benson dragged me out of the scene. When I came out, I kicked him. You dog. Herbert Benson clutched his ass and sold miserably. Wrong. It's not a no-brainer. HMPH. I couldn't hide my time with Herbert Benson, so we decided to make a big announcement. Herbert Benson posted a photo of the last time we were lying together on a mountain. The accompanying text is, I am fortunate to participate in your growth in the first half of my life, and I will accompany you to the end in the second half of my life. I posted a picture of me holding a fox, and replacing it with Herbert Benson's. My copy is, hold him in his passionate love. The first to like and comment was Curran Sharp. Curran Sharp, I have to sit at the main table. Extra. When I was with Herbert Benson, he loved to take pictures. Herbert Benson put the new photos in the album in front of me. Let me see. I held out my hand to him. Herbert Benson handed me the album and flipped through the covers. Don't pull my quilt. Sick of it. On the first page of the album is a photo of Herbert Benson wearing open crotch pants, and next door is a picture of me wearing a diaper. I'm convinced. A few more pages are a picture of my course when I was in elementary school. My parents, Herbert Benson, and Herbert Benson were laughing at me. This dog thing actually took a picture. No, if you want to find something to quarrel with, don't embarrass him. I'm not happy. I brewed my emotions silently. Herbert Benson saw my intentions, and he pressed my hand to swim around his abs. When he interrupted me like this, my attention was all on the feel. Move down. Herbert Benson's eyes suddenly deepened, and the corners of his mouth were clearly smiling. Are you sure? If you dare to stop halfway, I really can't spare you. I didn't speak. My hand ran along his waist, and I kept touching his Adam's apple upwards. Herbert Benson rolled his Adam's apple, swallowed, and looked straight at me, with a look of intimidation. Turn off the lights. 2 years later, I got my license with Herbert Benson. When I came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, the happiest were my mother and Aunt Ingrid, and they hugged each other excitedly. Oh yes, it's finally over. Aha, it's over. Those who don't know think that they are the ones who got the certificate. The end.